A sad day in the history of Windows Phone, or I should say another sad day in the history of Windows Phone, as we mark the end of the MyTube app. And it didn't go down today. I started getting messages a couple weeks ago, it may have been up to a month ago, that the MyTube app had stopped working. And that's depressing for a couple of different reasons. Number one, if you're still able to use your Windows Phone, if you're in a country that still supports it, you're one of the people in the US that has one of the very specific models of Windows Phone still going, it was a fantastic way to view content on your Windows Phone and be able to see YouTube videos. It was great, worked phenomenally well. The second reason why it's sad is that it was kind of a looking through a wormhole at an alternate universe where Windows Phone had survived to current day and Microsoft had reached an agreement with Google, and we actually got a first-party YouTube app because that's how good it was, and a tease of what could have been if Microsoft and Windows Phone had stayed the course and gotten through to 2023. Because imagine Google's Material You, but 10 years ago, where system elements and design cues from the user experience made its way down to the app level, to where the point where whatever color you had chosen for your live tiles actually permeated through to the individual apps, the first party apps that you were using. That level of integration and just the capturing the design language, it was so clean. It worked well. It epitomized what Windows Phone could be. Useful, powerful, clean, no nonsense. It was everything you needed and nothing that you didn't. And that's why it was great. I remember I paid my $1.99, I believe, on a couple different occasions. I know my 930 has it, but also one of my other phones has it as well. But you can go in, you'll still see it. You can see, look, that's my color. Look, let's go back to the home page, right? That's my color that I had chosen. It's kind of purple. It shows up a little bit more bluish on the camera. But then I go into MyTube, and there it is. Oh, I did there. And there it is waiting for me. And that would change depending on what you did with your system and your UI. It would take in all the stuff. So you'd go in, you could go into like, access blocked, nothing working here, and then it kind of goes out and just keeps giving you an error. No issues there. You go into watch later, same thing. You just keep getting this error, and it's quite sad. It's quite sad. Invalid request, developer request. It just the API or whatever does it, or whatever protocol it was using doesn't connect to YouTube anymore. So subscriptions, watch this, nothing's going to work. Really sad. You just get that exclamation point there. But you could see even just by doing this, and I'll link my Windows Phone videos, my Windows Phone applications video for 2022 at the end of this video, so you could see it in action. And boy, when it was live, it was a fantastic, fantastic program and a real tease of what could have been if Windows Phone had just survived. You still can play, I'll pull it up without any copyright stuff, you still can play YouTube videos through Microsoft Edge if you have Windows 10. Microsoft Edge will be able to get the job done. It'll go to the mobile site for YouTube, so you're not completely lost, but it's not nearly the experience that the MyTube app was. But it's nice that there is still something. So Microsoft Edge is getting long in the tooth, and it's not supported by as many things as we'd want nowadays, but it does have a couple things left in there that you can do on your Windows Phone. So this is also, listen, it's a bit of a memorial service for MyTube and something that we could have seen had they carried it through. But also, I want to know what your current favorites, if there are any left that are still working. You know, a lot of first-party stuff you can't log into anymore. There's a lot of stuff that you can't do on Windows Phone anymore. But I want to know, for the Windows Phone applications in 2023 video, which is in the works, what are currently your favorite applications to use on Windows Phone that are still functioning, that you're still able to get some utility out of, and that you're still able to, connect the data and stuff like that, if you're able to still use your phone. If you're in the United States and you're using Windows Phone, let me know what carrier you're using it on, because it's getting tougher and tougher. Windows AT&T claims that there's a couple different phones, the 950 XL, a couple other ones. They claim the 640 as well will work. Kind of tough. I've tried this on Red Pocket. I've tried this on T-Mobile. No luck on either. It just doesn't recognize the SIM. It used to recognize the Red Pocket one a little bit. I don't know if I have to try a different network. I was using the T-Mobile network. I think maybe I could try one of the other networks to get this to work. But other than that, if you're a Windows Phone fan, let me know how you're doing. Let me know how you're doing. Let me know what you're using. Just these light, thin designs, the little boxy designs, the fantastic just color of the trim, the wild colors, the green. I actually ordered another backing for this because a removable back on this device, so you could get you didn't have to change your entire phone. You could just get replacements for the other colors. So I have green for this. I have the orange. In fact, I have the gold trim one with the white as well. These 830s were just fantastic devices. I loved them. Loved how thin they were. Loved how well they ran. These were running, if I'm remembering correctly, these were running Snapdragon 400s. Okay, half the Snapdragon 800 was powering the 830 series of devices, 930 series of devices rather. The 830 got the Snapdragon 400 series, which was budget back in the day, and it still handled Windows Phone, Windows Mobile with no problems whatsoever. Snappy, great. In fact, I got a comment recently that they loved how the experience and the user experience didn't change based on the power of the device you were running. Sure, it changed a little bit, the speed of stuff, but you could still get a fantastic Windows Phone experience on something like a Snapdragon 400 in the mid-range of the price spectrum and still get a great experience. And you can also scale that all the way up to a Snapdragon 800 on a 930 and get a great experience as well. So no matter what platform they put Windows Phone on, because it was so well optimized, because it was so efficient, it was able to give you a quality user experience no matter what you were running it on. And that is absolutely true, because I've tried the budget phones, I've tried the cheap phones on Windows Phone, I've tried the expensive phones, and you could get something serviceable out of each of them, and it was just absolutely fantastic. And the live tiles going away. The whole thing's just sad. Not able to log into Microsoft services, OneNote, stuff like that. Really sad. Windows Edge is basically your lifeline at this point. I think that's the case. If you have some other apps that are running well, that are still connecting to the wider internet and pulling stuff back. I know there's probably some RSS feeds, readers, if that's still a thing, still running on there. That'll run quite well. But I'm going to go through all of it. The Windows Phone, if you're looking forward to that applications video in 2022, if you're a big Windows Phone fan, if you just love nostalgic, old tech, then go ahead and tussle that subscribe button. If you've made it this far, like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Until next time, have that Steve-licious day.